My 10 plant goals for 2025. Hello friends! I did not realize that this video would come out on the 1st of January, so happy new year! I hope it brings you so much happiness and joy and growth and health. Unfortunately, I woke up this morning to some douche canoe pretending to be me in the giveaway video comments, responding to several of you saying that you had won. If that was you, I am so sorry. I have not picked a winner yet, and I will never ask you to WhatsApp me or send personal details or credit card information. I only will ever respond with my own account, of course, which doesn't have any underscores in the name, just plantwithroos as one go, and then ask you to email me at the email that I mentioned in the giveaway video. I'm really sorry for any confusion. Also, if you're wondering why I sound like this, I have been sick since Christmas. I have been a ball of snot and headaches, but I dressed up to look nice for you for this video. Enjoy it and have a wonderful new year. Hey everyone, it is the end of the year and I'm noticing that there are some things that I either want to change or improve in my collection. Most importantly, getting rid of quite a few big plants, which we are going to do together. Might be interesting to see, and especially with this first one, because mental health is so much... That was my physio who walked by and he was like... That's funny, I haven't seen him in years, I think. Okay, now I'm scared. So many people walking by. Okay, especially this first one because it's about mental health, and as you probably know, that's really important to me. I have been feeling quite overwhelmed with my own collection because I have so many plants that are getting bigger, taking up more space, and we're gonna get rid of some. Before we do that, if you're new, hi, my name is Rose. My pronouns are she, her. I keep mess this up now. I don't know. I think it's here that I put my little Instagram handle. Chaotic from the start. Welcome. I have ADHD. I'm a houseplant lover in the Netherlands, and we're working on about 300 to 350 plants together today. So my first goal is to create balance again in my collection, because every week I normally water the plants and it's been so overwhelming and I don't have any energy to do it. So by lessening the collection and getting rid of some that don't necessarily spark joy for me anymore or are just getting too big or too difficult, it will definitely help me. I have decided to get rid of some big philodendron, like this beautiful pot of Plaumani and Pastazanum together. This has just become too big. Also, these long pots in our windowsill, they block a lot of light, a lot more than a regular pot. So that's why I'm actually having a friend pick this up because it is a stunning plant. I love it a lot, but it just is too big here, and my friend bought a new house and I think he has a little bit more space now, so that's exciting. I'm also giving this Luna cutting, which is now a full plant, to my sister-in-law Maartje because it didn't have much variegation. That's why I didn't do a giveaway with it, and she always is open to new plants, so I'm excited. And actually I said in a video that this doesn't have very nice variegation, so then it grew this leaf, which does have very nice variegation. So, and it's already really big. I think it's gonna look cool. They have a pretty big house compared to us. We have a very small house. And I think it's gonna be happy there. I love giving plants away to family and friends because it's easy. I just had to wait. Actually, she was here last week and I could have given it to her then, but I wanted to film this video and show you guys the plants one last time before I give them away. So that's why we're taking a moment for this little Luna cutting. This was the original leaf. Luna was my half moon variegated Monstera, and this cutting didn't grow half moon leaves at all. It grew a little bit of variegation, but not a lot. And it's been growing so steadily with not that much light. It's been sitting behind me there on the table next to where I work. And then this leaf, hey, don't drop it right before you give it to someone, has more holes, more white. It's looking really beautiful. So I'm excited for that, to get a new house. I'm also thinking of giving this one a new house. This is my Gloriosum apple. It's grown, I don't even know if you can hear me still, it's grown a bunch of new leaves this year, and especially this one. I don't know what happened. Look at how high that leaf is. So this petiole is like 1 meter long, and in my windowsill, as you can imagine, this is just completely squished against the window. So not living its best life. I think it will be happier in a different house. I love all of these plants, especially the gloriosum, the velvet leaves and the shimmeriness on the veins, but they get so big. And the way that they grow, the crawling, I don't know where to put them in my house. I don't have that much space. Like I said, we have, I think, 73 square meters. I'll put on the screen how much square, what do you guys do? Foot? Square foot. That is plants that I can put up there, like the hanging anthurium, or inside the little cubbies. That works better for my house than these huge ones that crawl, which is a little bit sad, but it's okay. There's one more here that we're getting rid of. I'm grabbing it from behind the camera. One sec. Here we go. This is my variegated. Can you see the nice variegation? This is Philodendron radicans variegated. I got it as a very, very small plant. Here's an older leaf that I got it with. Look, I got this from a friend and I was like, I'm happy to try it out from a friend. It has increased a lot in size since, like comparing this leaf to the previous ones. And it is cool, but it just isn't for me. I don't know, the shape of the leaf. Also, because I'm not super in love with it, I'm not giving it enough attention, at least not enough that it deserves. I think this can grow a lot bigger and better in someone else's house. So I don't know, either I'm giving this to a friend, or the plants that I'm getting rid of that aren't going to friends, I'm planning to sell in spring on my Instagram. So if you're interested and you're in the EU, I usually do selling by blind auction, meaning I put a story up, first showing the plant, and then another story with a little question box, and you can put your bid in there, and I don't share the bids so that you're not bidding against each other to make it more and more and more. I just want a good offer, and I also have no idea what things are worth, so that's why this blind auction works for me better a little bit. And that plant sits right next to my beautiful mint Thai Mickey constellation something monstera. So I think this will grow bigger next year as well, and then it will take up more space, so it will have more space. There's probably also some other ones that I will be open to getting rid of, but these are the main ones that I've decided right now that will help me to create more space physically in my house and also in my brain. Hi, Mickey! Just so you see what I'm looking at. Behind the camera is my little Mickey baby, looking super adorable. Oh, he's so fluffy and sweet. And look here, this is the vensterbank. What is it called in English? Windowsill. So we have the beautiful yellow variegated Monstera aurea and the Ilsamani that is finally growing some variegation. And then this one sits squished in between, and then the mint Monstera on this side, the other mint Thai Monstera that I propagated, so new growth is not looking super happy, but that's okay. And then the gloriosum that is going all the way up here, and then we have my beautiful, what is it called? Majestic. Oh, look at that, super tall already. And then here is the behind the scenes. I'll show you a few more of these in a second. Oh, actually, I forgot. I wanted to say in the beginning, by the time you're watching this video, a Dutch magazine has come out. It's called Happy Plants. It comes out once a year as a special to the monthly magazine called Tuinseizoen. And I am in it. Wait, here's my friend, Iris, Mama Botanica. She writes for this magazine as well. And then here is me. So if you are in the Netherlands, you can get it at any of the shops where you get magazines. Here's another page, my bathroom, Queen Anthurium, Hoya flower. And then one more page with lots of text and some cute pictures that I took myself. Here's the plant corner that I just showed you. So this magazine, I'll also put a link in the description where you can order it if you don't want to go to one of the magazine shops. And I noticed that there is underneath the photo of the magazine, you can click on Inkijk exemplaar, which means a like one that you can look into, and then it opens as a magazine in the online magazine space issue, is it called? ISSUU. So then if you are not in the Netherlands, you can still see it and read it without having to order it, because I don't think they will ship outside of the Netherlands or Europe. I don't know exactly. But yeah, Happy Plants is out now. This is not sponsored, but I am in it and I thought it would be fun. I use these a lot, which I will talk about. I think is one point I will talk about later. Yeah, I use these images that are in here a lot for some crafty business. Okay, so that was a very long first one. The second one is that I want to make YouTube more of a priority, which has already been happening this past year. I, as you maybe know, started teaching for a yoga TV program, which was very exciting. And then just now in December, I stopped teaching my weekly yoga classes. I was still teaching one twice a week yoga class at the European Space Agency near here. I stopped that because it was taking so much energy that I didn't have time enough to edit videos for you guys. My physical health in this case was blocking, and hopefully by taking the break of the yoga classes, I'll have less headaches, less nausea from, if you are new, I guess this doesn't make sense. Hi! 4.5 years ago, I fell on my head at a garden center while plant shopping, and I got a long-lasting concussion called post-concussion syndrome that I've been struggling with for 4.5 years now. Mainly means I am exhausted very quickly, I get headaches very quickly, and then nausea and dizziness sometimes, and I just need sleep a lot. Things like being in crowds or with strangers, or being in a car, bright lights, bright noises, loud noises, they trigger all of these symptoms. So I'm hoping that by choosing my health, I'll also be able to have more time for you guys. And actually the third goal links into that a little bit. This coming year, I really want to focus on making the best content for you guys. Not just me talking to a camera, bringing all the different angles, making content that you want to see. So if you have any requests, always you can leave it in the comments or send me an email at contact@plantwithroos.com. This is my new email address again, or plantwithroos@gmail.com works as well, but that has been getting into spam. When I respond, people don't see my emails because apparently it's marked as spam a lot. So that's been a little bit annoying. I'm out of breath already, which is also part of this long-lasting concussion, but I would love to hear what you want to see. And also, Jan, Sydney Plant Guy, does these videos where he watches and responds to you guys' content, videos, photos, whatever you want to send. And I really want to make a reaction video like that as well. Either you can ask me advice, or you can show me your collection, which plants are doing well, maybe plants that you got from me, or plants that grew well with tips from me. All of the things I'm so open to. So if you want to apply for that and send in your video or your photos, you can do that via contact@plantwithroos.com as well, and put in the subject line, ROOS Responds. Maybe? That sounds like a title that will make it a little bit organized for me, I hope. So I would love to see your emails for that. If the files are too big, you can send them via wetransfer or transferXL. I will explain that a little bit in the description as well. Also, I really want to bring back the renovation series, which I have done irregularly for a while now. We still have so much to show you. We completely made over the kitchen that you've seen by now, but I haven't shown you the whole process. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more energy for that and do twice a week videos, because some of my fellow creators like Fern and Becca, Jan as well, are just putting out 3 or 4 videos a week with different channels, and I'm like struggling to do 1 a week. So that's my goal. 2 a week, maybe even more, and of course all the short form content that I do for Instagram, TikTok, and here. So lots to do, but also I have so many ideas still that have been on a list to make for such a long time. Questions from you guys, everything like that, so I am excited to start having time to create those. Okay, so on to goal 4, which is to get bigger leaves on many of the plants and to like increase in size my collection. Everything from Anthurium to Monstera, Philodendron, Hoya, because many of my Hoya have been struggling. That's a different point coming up as well. And my cacti as well, because I have so many new little blobs that are adorable. I actually have a few right here that I think can't handle the cold of the greenhouse, so they get to live inside with me for winter. I am so excited to see these guys grow, and I'll do a collection tour in the spring. I said that already in a different video, but I really want to show off all the cacti that I got. Hopefully by spring they're still happy because the greenhouse is not insulated. It hopefully stays just about above freezing. And most of them can handle that because they're not super wet. Actually, I'm letting them dry out all winter, so they kind of go dormant from what I understand. But these, especially the boobies, you can see, this is from last year's cold. We have some seriously shriveled up boobies, so hopefully the new ones will stay nice and perky inside the house with me. For the philodendron, I have been doing pretty okay with them on moss poles sizing up, but it goes pretty slowly. I think it's because maybe I let my moss poles dry out too much because I haven't had time to take care of the plants, coming back to point number 1. So I guess they all mix together and don't really separate. So I'm trying to be better about keeping them a little bit more moist and supporting them so that the leaves can increase in size. The Monstera have been doing pretty well. I feel like they're a little bit easier and less needy than philodendron. And then the Anthurium, I can grab this one to show you. I got this with this leaf right here, and it's now this size. So I feel like for Anthurium, I understand their process. I can get them to size up pretty quickly. I can get them to grow beautiful and dark leaves. But for philodendron, I'm still on a mission to learn a little bit more. And for cacti as well. Alocasia are okay, although they are very unpredictable. I think it's a little bit of luck as well, and having them in semi-hydro, which helps me. It just gives them a little bit more steadiness for my care. This one was super dehydrated recently. All these leaves were completely floppy when I realized I hadn't watered it enough. So that's why point number 1, we're balancing out the collection to be able to better take care of the ones that we do want to keep. And connected to that is moss poles. Goal number 5? Yes. How the bleep do you balance them? I've had a few that are getting really tall, like this one back here. This is the Majestic. Look at it. I can even, oh, I have it on the ground right now. And then the top leaf is as tall as me. So that is about 5'9" or 175 is my height. We're the same height now. But if I don't, ooh, mealybug, wait, squish. That's also coming up, pests. But how the bleep do you balance this stuff? Right now it's kind of standing on its own, but I lean it against the window frame back there so that it doesn't fully fall over. Look at this. And I just had this morning in the bathroom my Glorious fall over and damage a leaf. The Splendid in the bathroom keeps falling over. I stuck a shower brush underneath the pot to try and help it balance. It's not helping anymore. The only ones that are staying balanced are my Monstera on moss poles. Maybe because the pots are bigger as well, I don't know. I'm so confused. I get a big shock quite often. Do you see this right here? This is my, wait, I'll grab it. It's very big. This is my El Choco philodendron, which is absolutely stunning. I love it so much. But, wait. Okay, this is total chaos. Once again, sorry. See how this moss pole is sitting right now? So I try and balance it inside the pot to have it straight up. And then I'm working and all of a sudden it falls over again. And I get a big scare because I think my whole plant is falling over and off the table and breaking the pot. Luckily it's not. If you're saying it should be in a smaller pot, because this is definitely smaller than the outside pot, then the whole pot would fall off the table. So I've been struggling a lot with moss pole balance, even this short one, because this plant is so big and the petioles are so long and spread out everywhere. It just, how do people do this? And now I don't know where to put it because, okay, we're just gonna put it back. We can do it. Making sure it doesn't fall over while I'm filming. So if you have any tips for this, please write them in the comments. I know Jan sticks in a pole, like a stake or something, inside the plastic. He doesn't have the plastic poles, does he? I have the plastic poles, so I could stick a stick down the side of it, which I've done upstairs, and that helps a bit. But still, it's not ideal. And I love these plants that are on it so much. The leaves are beautiful, but it's giving me stress. So here we go. Doesn't want to stand up now. Okay, wait. And then I balance the pot a little bit so that it does stand up. Okay, we've got balance again. So it's my goal to learn more about how to do this properly or figure out a better way. I don't know. It's just something I want to work on this year. So we slide it over here and keep it until I talk about pests, because there's lots of pests on that one. Next one is about Hoya. You may have noticed I didn't share a lot about Hoya this year because the renovation. I had to move my plants into different spaces. Most of the plants went into my brother-in-law's house where it got too cold, and then some of them went to my sister-in-law. And especially the Hoya struggled a lot. I didn't realize the space would get so cold. Also, I didn't realize the renovation would take 3 months instead of 4 to 6 weeks. So it was full on winter when they moved back here. It's been a struggle. My Hoya shelves look sad. There's a lot of pests. There's a lot of just bare one leaf. A rooted plant, it's happy, but it's not growing. Partly because I think flat mites. I see a lot of my plants struggling. I've been treating with good bugs because there are mites that can eat the tiny flat mites. If you have Hoya and you have never heard of flat mites, please look up the videos created by my friends Adam and Miro. Betsy has a really good one as well, because you cannot see them with the naked eye and they ruin new growth on your Hoya. So it's really tricky and really frustrating, because what comes out is not a new leaf, just a little blob. It's like new leaves want to come, but they take off the top, so it just stays a little blob, and then again from that blob new leaves want to grow, but they get eaten or ruined, so it just becomes kind of like a misshapen growth, and that's a big sign that you have flat mites. I'm thinking about changing up my situation. Pests. I guess we can talk about it now. They are all, like I said, interlinked. By the way, I didn't even say, I really wanted to wear, I'm filming this second Christmas day, which is a thing in the Netherlands. I really wanted to wear my Christmassy outfit that I wore to my parents, my shiny clothes, put on makeup for you, look really nice. I did do my nails that are very golden Christmassy. I love them. But with having been to visit even my parents just for one night, I have a headache now and we are in Christmassy pajama mode. So that's why I'm not dressed up. I just have my hair back and no makeup on my face. At least we have the nails, right? I'm happy that this morning I still had a big headache, but after a little walk with my boyfriend and laying on the sofa for a while, I feel up to filming now. So I'm positive and excited about that. And grateful too, because I think my friend is either coming today or tomorrow to pick up that plant. So I really wanted to film this as soon as possible. So thank you, brain, for allowing me. So my 7th goal is to manage pests. Maybe better is not the right word, because I've been doing my best with the energy that I had, but to share about it as much as possible like I've been doing, that's been one thing that's made pests not so much depressing for me, because I see a new pest and I'm like, ugh, balls. And then I grab my phone and I film them and I'm like, content. I can show you guys. We can go through this together. Maybe it helps someone to recognize early what I didn't. Yeah, so if you don't know, I use good bugs to treat bad bugs, and I've been working with a company called Entocare here in the Netherlands for years now. It's generally been really good, but this year has been a huge challenge. I think I got like 4 new types of pests that I had never had before in the 5 years before that, like whitefly, a weird type of scale, 2 types of aphids, bright orange ones and then dotted ones on Hoya, bright orange aphids on Hoya, and it's just been really weird. So I'm super grateful to Entocare. It helps me to keep everything under control, especially with this many plants. But it is a goal for me to do better with that. Like this plant currently has quite a bit of huge mealybugs that I'm just gonna grab my pen, my alcohol pen, and treat after filming. And I think the goal number one, the balance, is definitely gonna help. When I have less plants, it's easier to keep an eye on them better compared to having so many plants everywhere that I just don't see any issues when they arise, and then it's a little bit later on in the process, which makes it more difficult to manage. Does that make sense? Pests are definitely, for me, the least fun about having lots of plants, and I understand totally that it can be super frustrating, especially if you are spraying your plants. It takes, in my experience at least, a lot of effort to spray the plants down because I have so many. So that's why I'm happy with my choice of good bugs, because I just put the good bugs out and once a month and I don't have to do anything else. Even that has been a challenge because when they've come in, I've had headaches or not had a lot of energy, and then putting them on the right plants just felt super overwhelming. So I'm trying to remember to breathe between my sentences. Also important. My health, of course, is also a goal for this year, but that is not plant related. So that's on my private list, or like my personal list, which I'm happy to share if you're interested, but this is more plant focused and YouTube focused. Goal number 8. I have been collecting stuff to build more terrariums for a year now, I guess, since we moved the plants back. I really want to turn my little terrarium down there into a planted tank, meaning we will make a background, we will put soil at the bottom, and not just how it is now. It's basically a expensive prop box because I have a layer of perlite and then just plants in it. I want to make it like the big one where we have a big wall and ground cover plants and everything. I'm excited to make that. I also have this same project for a smaller terrarium that I can grab to show you because it's a little bit lighter than the big terrarium. I had so many plants collected for it that I recently just threw in some perlite and some moss so that I could have these plants be happy. Lots of begonia, some sonarilla, some very cool crawling plants that I will show you when I build them. But this is gonna get a background and then maybe a nice layer of ground cover plants, and we'll put my fancy isopods that I've been growing in a bin. Wait, I can also grab them. They're gonna go in this terrarium. This is the bin that the Cubaris Panda King live in right now. I made little breathing spaces for them, and then a wet side on this side with sphagnum moss. Wait, I can maybe show you. We have a piece of cork, and there are some, can you see them? So pretty. They're being very still right now. One is moving. These are my Panda King isopods, and they are so adorable. I'm just sad that they hide away from people because they're so pretty. I want to see them more. Look. Maybe Editing Rose can zoom in on this more because they're so cool. 2 more. If you have seen me pollinating my plant back in the summer, I pollinated my Anthurium blackjack with pollen from Anthurium pallidiflorum, and that is a video that I'm working on from pollination, rubbing the 2 inflorescences together to a little plant is my hope. I just harvested the first 5 seeds or 5 berries and then turned into 5 seeds as well, 1 seed per berry. That is a process that I'm excited to continue seeing because there's much more seeds that are getting ready to pop out. I was planning to make this into a video all the way from start to finish, but maybe you want to see it in 2 parts. Please let me know in the comments. Do you want to see it as pollination from rubbing the 2 inflorescences together to harvesting the seeds, and then from getting the seeds to grow to a little plant? Or do you want to see it all together in one video? I can make the first version right now. If we're gonna wait until it's a plant, then it's gonna be probably end of next year that we're putting out this video. And maybe by then you will have wanted to do the same thing with your Anthurium. So please let me know in the comments. I know it's a lot to put in the comments. I appreciate any feedback that you're willing to give. So any comments that you write are super helpful to me, especially because it's just me over here trying to decide what I'm creating, how I'm creating it, and your feedback is very much appreciated. Also, I'm super excited to see what these plants are gonna look, how do you say? Look like? How the plants are gonna look like, because it's combining my absolute favorite Anthurium, the blackjack with the beautiful brown leaves, the shape I love, with these longer velvet leaves. Are we getting longer blackjack type leaves? I have no idea what they're gonna look like. So that's really exciting. I'm also planning to make a favorites video for this past year, but that is coming out in the new year probably. I wanted to put this one out first. Okay, and then my last goal is to be more creative. First of all, with my channel, because right now I'm talking to you one frame. I will put on some layovers, but mainly this is quite a simple video. So I want to be better with different angles and create more interesting things to look at. Also with myself, you have noticed maybe that I've been experimenting with putting on some makeup, putting on nail polish, just making myself look a little bit more fancy, getting dressed up. Even though I have nowhere to go except here with you guys, it feels really nice because most of the time I spent on the sofa in my sweatpants with no makeup and no hair done and nothing. So I think that's also why I've been enjoying the nail polish, because it's something I can do here at home and it's something that I look at and I'm like, oh, that's so pretty all the time, even though I have a headache and I'm on the sofa. So, and that's also part of this last point. It's kind of also personal. I really want to express myself in many different ways. I have always been a very creative person. My grandma taught me how to crochet when I was a kid, 7, I don't know. My mom taught me how to knit when I was 6 or 5. I remember because we learned in school how to knit and that was age 6. And the teacher told me I was doing it wrong because my mom taught me in a different way, because she's a crafts teacher and she taught me a better way to knit. Whole thing, I came home crying, Mom, you taught me how to knit wrong. She didn't. But yeah, creativity and knitting and all that kind of stuff has been with me my whole life. And I recently got back into embroidery, which I have showed you in the Christmas package, reel or short that I showed you. This is a gift that I gave myself. It's a big kit and I have all the supplies in this little thing with me on the sofa. So when I feel up to it, it helps me to relax and have something to do when I can't do many things with the headaches. And actually just having the supplies, look at this. This is my kit. There's some people walking by twice to make sure that they're seeing it right that I'm filming. This is my embroidery supplies and I absolutely love all the rainbows and all the pretty floss. I might do a video where I show you all my works in progress or my finished products, some random video on a plant channel, which is not great for the algorithm or my YouTube income. But as always, I love to make videos that make me happy. So I think we're just gonna do that. Part of that is also things like this. I've had this in my house, I think for over a year. This is a tiny tree house. It's a kind of like a puzzle thing, or what do you call it? Like a miniature thing that you put together yourself. I still haven't put these together. I have 2, and then you put it in your plant, which is super cool. It's so pretty. And you can put a light inside it. Look how cute that is. So I am thinking about either going live and doing this together with you guys while we chat, or filming a video with where I answer your questions while I make this thing. Not that I'm great at doing 2 things at the same time, but we can try. So things like that. And then also, you may have seen this one already. This is my plant planner. Wait, where's the nice first page? Come here. Yes. So this is my plant bullet journal. And funny story, all of these images, almost all of them, most of these images are from Happy Plants that I'm in. So I always get 2 copies where I can read one and then cut up the other one for all the images. And sometimes they even have nice images on both sides, and when you have 2, you can use both. So I have in here some, wait, I've showed you this before, but actually I did an update recently. I have a growth tracker to know how many months it took my Thai constellation to make another leaf, for example. That's how it started. I have a tracker here where I track when I water the plants and when I feed them. And as you can see here, it's become really chaotic. So I made it for next year like this, where I actually have space each week to write whether I just watered with rainwater or if I added fertilizer and vitamins, and from which brand, because I like to alternate between fertilizers. So I think this is gonna work quite well. I love pretty images and making collages. Can you see? Oh, no, you can't really see. All the way back there, I have a vision board that I make each year, which also often includes plant images, and it really helps me. I love beautiful things. So beautiful images that inspire me and remind me. Like I have images on there of plants, of cozy vibes reading, of travel, of being out in nature, of dance, which I have incorporated into my life again recently, and yoga. It just reminds me that life is beautiful and I have many interests that I can spend time on that makes me happy and feel good physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. So being more creative in all of those ways, I think is going to be really fun. And that's it, my 10 planty goals for 2025. I would love to hear what your goals are for this year for your plants. Maybe you're also feeling overwhelmed like me, or a little bit of plant burnout, which a lot of us definitely experience in winter and around the holidays, because it is a really busy time for the rest of like your life, your hobbies, your family, your friends probably. So it's logical that you have less energy for your plants. Maybe you just ignore them and the passion for plants comes back in spring, or maybe you get rid of some plants as well, like I'm doing right now, finding some balance again where it feels good for you, where looking at your plants makes you happy again, like it does for me. And I think I'm out of words now. Thank you so much for being here, supporting me this past year, all your lovely comments. I feel like we're friends, even though sometimes I just know your screen name, but I recognize all the different screen names if you comment more often. If I sometimes don't respond, I'm sorry. I try to respond to all the comments, and it's really special to me that we can share this time together, that I get to be here in my house and create this content that makes me happy, that hopefully brings you some joy as well. I've seen some super amazing comments where you're saying that my vibes make you happy, or that I bring a little bit of positivity and joy into your day, and I'm super grateful for that. So thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best for this coming year, and your plants and yourself, mostly your mental health, your physical health. Whew, feeling a little bit emotional. Okay, it's gonna be okay. I hope we get to spend 2025 together once again. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe below. If you haven't already, leave a nice comment, and I will see you in the new year. This year has gone by so fast, can you believe it? I don't even know what happened. I feel like it punched me in the face and then, surprise, that's it, the end. So, thank you so much, friends. I'll see you in 2025.